Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin has formed another low overnight. Yesterday there was a bit of a, you could call it a flash crash. I mean, Bitcoin hasn't really done much. Bitcoin's back above the Friday low. Altcoins have suffered further, but we will address that in the individual altcoin videos. We should always take every chart on its own, and altcoin recoveries are just not, let's say, likely until Bitcoin has finally formed a low in a support region, or finally is turning around, which could happen already. Now with the latest low, I'm a bit more optimistic that a low could have been found than yesterday, because yesterday we formed that double bottom. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but basically I mentioned to you in yesterday's video that double bottom rarely produces a reliable reversal signal. Let's say the evidence came just straight after, right? Because double bottoms rarely produce reliable bottoming signals for various reasons. You find it unfortunately everywhere on the internet that a double bottom is such a great reversal structure. Well, it's not. It's actually not. It's most frequently it's going to be taken out. Yeah, it could be a temporary reversal. Okay, but then people get too bullish and actually it's taken out eventually for various reasons we don't want to talk about in this video. But if you followed yesterday's updates, or if you follow us on X, yesterday's update was this one. Make sure that you follow us here as well. If you're interested in further updates, you can find the link in the description. Just make sure that you follow the account with the check mark, and you'll get all sorts of additional updates, not only analysis, but all sorts of stuff about mindset. And yesterday I gave you two wave counts. Actually, on this one here, this was the update I sent on X before I published the latest signal on Discord. So there are not all updates are published here on X. There are more for gold members. But the idea was that we would get another low. I later added another one where the price had already run into resistance. There were basically two short-term bearish scenarios. One that allowed a little bit further upside in wave C of X with one more low then, and one that suggested, we had already run into resistance. That was the orange count, which I'm showing you now. We get one more low probably straight away, or at least both need to be considered. In both scenarios, we could not confirm a low in place. And I highlighted that the double bottom makes this unlikely. Actually wrote it here in the text and received quite a lot of questions afterwards. It would be great if Bitcoin had formed a low already, but the double bottom makes this unlikely. And then you always get questions, why? It just has to do with structure, market structure. Elliott Wave gives us the context, and those double bottoms, they often are in this context B wave lows, okay? B wave lows, which we see on the when we look at the orange count in a minute. But before we dive into the microstructure, let's take a look at the overall structure here in this context. We can still follow the thesis that a fourth wave bottomed here on the 1st of May, and the fifth wave is unfolding to possibly 85, 86K. At the same time, I can't confirm a low in place here in this region yet. So that means short term, the trend is still down, but I'm observing this as the context. So that gives me possible reversal areas, and you can see how the market is reacting more and more to this support area here, okay? So we get more and more of this, it's more and more difficult for the sellers to drive prices down. Just looking at Bitcoin, I mean, altcoins are bleeding. They are what they are. They are setups, and they break if they, if they don't hold support. Yeah, it's dead money basically. That's why I give you support areas, and against these support areas you can measure your risk if you're interested to follow these. But without any impulse to the upside, we have no reversal signal. Same for Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is obviously holding much better. And the decline is corrective, which still allows for the thesis that, we are in this direct move to the upside, in which a wave 4 bottomed here on the 1st of May, have a wave 1 to the upside, wave 2 pullback. A, B, what I don't like is that this B wave is very extended, very protracted, not too deep to be reliable, but sideways. It's yeah, taking a lot of time. Third wave to the upside, or C wave of 3 to the upside would follow next, then a 4-5. This is sort of what I'm following as long as the price is holding above 62,540. Anything below that, and it will be difficult, because below that level, we're likely heading into the area between 55 and 58K. But again, also that wouldn't be bearish. At least it would give us some clarity and offer some really good entry prices in the yellow wave count. Yellow, however, not preferred until we break below 62,540. Would the yellow count be bearish? No, but it would probably lead to much more suffering when we talk about the altcoins. And the yellow count would, it just means that this fourth wave, which presumably bottomed on the 1st of May, that this never finished. Okay, so let's go to the shorter time frame, and this is the B wave of wave 3, following 2 counts. The one that I showed you just on X, that's while it allowed for another low, or we were watching for another low, that strong recovery didn't happen. But the orange count I showed you also, I think, in the last video, this played out. I've removed the resistance area from up here though, because we don't need it anymore. The price turned around in resistance. I've added a new one now for this fourth wave possibly. Let me take you through the scenario. There are two ideas I have how the microstructure could unfold here. This microstructure analysis is best to be used just as orientation. It gives you a guide path, gives you some support resistance levels to watch. It's not entirely predictive because we're dealing with really microstructures in corrective patterns. That's always important to add. Okay, don't expect these to be too predictive. In no scenario I can confirm a low at this stage. And yesterday's development shows why, when we talk about aggressive long positions, it can be wise to really wait for a first 5-wave move up and a 3-wave pullback. I say that all the time. People get frustrated with it, but it is so important because if you don't wait for this as confirmation that a low has formed, you might get caught in these traps. So like this one. Okay, also here I said to you, this is only 3 waves up. This was also just a 3-wave rally into yesterday's high. You can see the double bottom here. It was taken out. The evidence came straight after, right? Double bottom. I saw it on crypto Twitter. Oh, reversal. There was no reversal. But Elliott Wave tells us that these are very unreliable reversal structures because they are often B waves. So for example, here in the, it doesn't matter in the white or the orange count, this counts well as an A, B, so B wave lows. C, double bottoms are often B wave lows. Yeah, there are two wave counts. I mean, if we talk about this as a B wave pullback after the A wave topped on the 21st of May, in the white count, I can count this completed, but it takes minimally a break above resistance at 66,960 in 5 waves. That would be then the start of the C wave. Until then, I'm watching the count in orange, which allows for one more low. We are clearly in a local downtrend from the June top. However, this could finish at any point, but I'm going to go with the trend until I get a reliable reversal signal. And the reliable reversal signal is not just a green candle. It takes a bit more than that. It takes a 5-wave move up above resistance. Next support is at 64,440. That's the golden ratio. We already basically reacted to that yesterday. And below that level, we have 62,540. So the situation hasn't really changed. Bitcoin's just chopped a little bit more around. The idea that a double bottom is not really a reliable reversal signal, hopefully was helpful. And of course, it could be a reversal, right? I mean, you never know, but then we need evidence for that. It's just worth being skeptical until we see that evidence on the charts. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.